The first challenge I see is stories are often too generic. I was working with a nonprofit who works in the developing world with subsistence farmers, and they help these farmers with business practices, technology, and agricultural methods to help them not just survive, but thrive and support their families and community. And so I was helping some of the country directors with their stories. And the country director in Mozambique had the broad brushstrokes of a great story. She said, when I got to Mozambique, everything was clicking. We had a steady flow of contributions from donors, outstanding programs, highly successful. But then after a few years, things started to decline and revenues started to dry up. And so we embarked on this turnaround. And I said, wait. Back up a minute. Was there a moment where you realized that things weren't going so great? And we talked about a few things. And the one we settled on, she said she was in a pitch meeting with a potential donor. Donor comes in, super excited to fund some great programming, had lots of ideas, leaning in, elbows on the table, excited. And she put it together later. She thought about this meeting. As the meeting progressed, his body language started to go like this, and he was leaning back, and the expression went like this on his face. And she didn't realize it at the time, but in diagnosing what went wrong, she said, I think that was the day we lost it. What I realized was we weren't listening. He came into this with all kinds of great ideas, and all we were doing was pitching him on our tried and true programs. And so that was the beginning of the decline. So look for those moments. Get very specific, because you may have never worked in a nonprofit or been to Mozambique, but all of us have been in a meeting that goes south. So look for those specifics, especially around the key turning points. As you open your story, you set the scene. When something bad happens, when you're back on the road to recovery, when it resolves, those specifics help bring the story to life and make it more relatable. We tend to think that the more general we are in our storytelling, the more universal it will be. Not true. The more general you are, the more boring it will be.